Wherever you are, be there totally. That is our quote of the week. Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny, where we are live usually on Mondays, bringing you a new dose of week as we shift ahead, refocus our mind into the week ahead. And today, well, actually all this month, we've been talking about mindfulness and really using mindfulness and practicing mindfulness during this time of year especially, but also throughout the year. So we're going to talk today about how this idea of being totally there can be done, how it can be easy, and even how it is absolutely necessary, especially this time of year. All right, so for those of you that are new, that are here for the first time, hi, welcome. My name is Danny. I help lady bosses get out of their own way by taming their inner critic, reconnecting back to who they really are, and find peace in the chaos. You might call me the peace teacher. So it is actually Tuesday. It was a holiday yesterday. Again, thank you to all of the veterans and those who have served and those who are currently serving to protect our country, our beautiful land here in the United States. So I wanted to come in today because I think this message needs to be heard now. Because here's the thing. When we think about, well, before we do that, I'm ready to dive in. Can you guys tell? It's exciting. Grab your coffee, your tea, your protein shake, whatever you're drinking, because we're getting started. So, okay, now let me circle back. So if you are new here, let me know down below in the comments if we are friends, if we know each other offline, or if we know each other online. Let me know you're here by saying hi, give me an emoji. I know Facebook gives us these cool options now. Throw me one of those, throw me your favorite emoji or your favorite comment. I'd love to say hi back and wish you a happy week. Okay, now ready to get started. So one of the things that when we think about this quote, wherever you are, this can be taken a lot of different ways, right? Be there totally. So when I think of this, I think of it as being present, as staying in the moment, as being aware of where I am. Because this can be kind of, different ways, right? We can look at this from different angles, right? Wherever you are, this might be wherever you are physically, be there, right? Be in that moment. Be, I was at the park yesterday with my love and the pug, and, we were sun gazing, and it was awesome. It was just nice to it was right before the sun was about to set. The weather was cool. The park was great, right? We had our feet on the grass. It was very grounding. And as we were looking, out at the sun and just being in that moment, I was so present in that moment. I wasn't thinking about the things that I need to do later on or, worried about, other things that are going on this week. I was just there in that moment. We were just in our own zone, right? And we had a really great conversation after that. And it was just such a great moment, but we were out there in the park, and it was just, again, wherever we were, right? And we were present, we were there. We weren't thinking about, all these other things. We were in that moment. When we think about wherever you are, be there totally, you could come at it from another perspective, right? Have you ever been in a time or a situation in your life where things have shifted for you, things have changed for you, and you're in this new season, right? You might even be in this transition from one thing or another, right? You might be in a transition from career, right? Maybe it's a different position within your career as you're growing in your company, or even you're transitioning out from corporate world into the entrepreneur space, right? And so as you're doing this, You might be in this transition. This is a new space for you, right? Whenever we're in transition, we're called upon to use different resources, to learn new resources, new skills, new perspectives, right? This season, even if you think about the season you are in your life, right? You might be in a season of, change. You might be in a season of establishment, of really having some strong roots, right? Wherever you are, recognize that and be there totally. You see how this can be a little bit different. The reason why I chose to use this particular quote this particular week is because we are about a week out. So if you're catching this on the replay, at this current time of recording, we are about a week out from Thanksgiving. We're a little over a week, right? Thanksgiving for us is next week. And I can already start to feel the energy of the environments starting to shift, right? This morning, I drove out with the pug to take him to the dog park to release some energy. And I was happened to be listening to the radio I don't normally do that, but it happened to be on. And so I just left it on. And I could hear in the callers that were calling in, and even in the radio hosts, this, this like busy, right? And it's like everybody's talking about, what's coming up and what's happening and Black Friday. And it's like all this stuff, right? This busyness that is starting to happen for this time of year. But this happens to us a lot, doesn't it? We often, and I caught myself doing this actually a couple of weeks ago actually even this morning, where I was like, oh, I'm so busy this week. Now, maybe there are a couple of extra things on my plate, but really, I'm probably not as busy as I'm making it out to be. I can look at busyness, right, and say, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. But am I really? If I'm really honest with myself, I'm not that busy. I could be a lot busier. Again, this goes back to wherever you are, be there totally. Be present. Recognize where you are and be honest with yourself of, oh, okay, I'm here. Another thing that I want to kind of look at when we think about busyness, right? And we think about wherever we are to be totally there, our quote, I want you to think about the conversations that you've had recently. Have you been having a conversation with somebody and you're either anticipating what they're going to say, and so you're building up in your mind a response? Or maybe you're even at this point where you are not even, you've like tuned out. you don't even know what they're saying anymore. You like went off into another world and you're thinking about maybe some other things that you have going on, right? I see this in conversations a lot where two people are talking and then all of a sudden that person is just off in another world and the other person's still talking, right? Now, this kind of falls into our quote. And this might even be like a wake-up call for some of us to say, hey, am I being present in my conversations? I can tell you when you're present in your conversations, things shift. When you're present in your interactions, even listening to this right now, whether you're listening to this or you're watching the video of it, either way, how present are you right now? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you drift off and go into another world? Or were you here listening to everything I was saying? I'd love to hear. Just good or bad. It's not good or bad. It's just a recognition, which is what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is all about being aware of what it is that you're doing. Being aware of where you're at, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, right? Being aware of what's going through your mind right now. What are the thoughts? What are the thoughts that you're having right now? What is that voice inside your head telling you? So when you're in these conversations, I'm going to challenge you this week to be present. Be present in the conversations that you're having, whether that's on the phone, whether that's, through social media, whether that's, in person, right? On video, right? We do a lot of video chats these days. Be present. And what I want you to do is listen to that person and listen with the most focus and intensity that you possibly can. Really be in that moment. Don't look around the room, right? If you're on a phone call, don't be searching through, Facebook on your laptop, or, don't be trying to get somebody else's attention while you're talking to this person. Be present. Be in the moment. Be totally there. Another thing you might do to stay present or to make sure that you're staying present, and again, this is awareness. I'm not asking you to 100% just be in your moment all the time. Notice when you're not. Notice when you are. Notice. Become aware of where you are. Where you are right now. Are you here totally? Whether it's a season, whether it's a transition, whether it's a conversation, whether it's watching Netflix, whether it's eating, become aware of where you are and be totally there. All right, that is our coffee chat with Danny for this week. Again, our action item this week is to be totally there, to be aware of where you are. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to invite you to try that with your conversations. Try that in your interactions throughout the week. Notice whether you're just responding to somebody to just respond, or if you're taking that pause, that moment to think about it and then respond. Or if you're in a in-person interaction, are you 100% focused on that conversation and listening to what they're saying? Or are you distracted? All right, a quick announcement. This week is our Empowered You meetup. So locally here in Pasadena, for those of you that are local to Southern California, we are having our in-person meetup this Wednesday, tomorrow actually, here in Pasadena. I'll put a link down below in the comments so that you can come join us. It's a free meetup. We're going to be talking about practicing mindfulness to overcome stress, because this is the time, right, where stress starts to get even more amplified than it normally is. So we're going to talk about how and why we need that stress and why that stress is okay, but then also how to shift out of it when it's too much, right? When we don't need to stay there constantly, right? So I'm gonna teach some hacks to overcoming stress. All right, so that is it for us today. If you are not local, let me just say this. We do have our webinar, our virtual masterclass that is on the 28th. So I'll make sure and put a link down below, but you can go to www.thepeaceteacher.com/workshops, and you'll see all the workshops that are upcoming, both in person and virtual. All right. Now we are done. This is it for us today. Have a great rest of your week, a fantastic rest of your day, and remember to be you and to be amazing. Bye.